Sponsored by the Nebraska Department of Veterans Affairs, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Welcome in to the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. 12-year NFL veteran.
He's got some speed to go with strength.
Huskers and Green Bay Packers Hall of Famer.
Shovel pass to Green into Vikings territory. Finally brought down.
And University of Nebraska esports coach.
Green all by himself. 20, 10, touchdown.
98 yards and a Lambeau leap.
Here is your host, Ahman Green.
What's up, Harrison? How you doing?
How's it going? I'm on Green. Not too bad myself. It's
you can just say my first name. Just say my first name. Just Ahman. It's cool.
I'm on good. All right. How's it going, man? No, it's a hot day out, but nonetheless, good to be here as always. Filling in for Austin, but I know it's been a great show with you guys so far.
Oh yeah. It's been hot up here. I'm up in Wisconsin right now, so. We was in like the mid 80s, and I've been outside pretty much every day since I got here, getting the house all starting to get packed up, shed the fat, throw stuff in the big garbage dump. That feels so good. You throw stuff away that you've been wanting to throw away for years because it's been sitting in the closet or sitting in your garage. It's a great feeling.
Yeah. Anytime you move, you get that shock value of how much you actually have.
Yes, that too. That too. You're like, God, dog, where did all this stuff? When did I buy this? When did I buy that? Who bought this? I don't even know who bought this. What's it
at the point where you are now with so many? I want to say with so many. I'd say you probably have a lot of memorable items at this point. Does it ever become hard to kind of sort those out every time you move? Because I'd imagine it's hard to take everything all the time.
100%. I mean, as a kid, like the thing that hit me in this move for us, I was thinking back when we moved from Los Angeles back to Omaha, Nebraska in the summer of 1991. And me and my mom came first, and my dad stayed back to like sell more furniture and get the apartment cleaned up. And I didn't realize now, like thinking as an adult, like about the move, like as a kid, my 10-year-old or 13-year-old Ahman, I was not happy because I didn't want to change places. I didn't want to leave all my friends and my girlfriend that I had it. And I was going I was going to be a freshman in high school. So the high school life was about to begin. I would have went to Dorsey High School in Los Angeles, which was a prominent high school in terms of sports and education and everything. And then, we moving back. So I realized that there were toys that were gone missing now. Like I'm in Omaha. My dad comes back. This is like he comes in right before school started, like around August. And I'm like, where's my G.I. Joes? Where's my Autobots? Where's my hovercraft? He's like, we had to sell it. I'm like, what? I mean, I was like, oh my God. I was basically a 13-year-old meltdown. I just had a meltdown. I'm like, because me being a kid though, I was thinking ahead, like in 20 years of me having the hovercraft and having the original Optimus Prime Transformer, I could probably, obviously if I want to sell it, I could sell it for some big bucks, but I don't have it now. I'm like, oh my goodness. And I think the only thing I did have that I remember was my NES, my Nintendo Entertainment System, and my Sega Genesis, and all my games and controllers. So I did have those. And that was the only thing I say I could survive, that survived that voyage from the West Coast back to the Midwest. So that's been hitting me every time I look at stuff like you mentioned. Stuff I'm like, oh man, I don't want to get this. I don't want to throw this in the garbage, or I don't want to sell this. I look at it, I'm like, oh man, this is pretty dope. Let me put that away. Of course, my wife looks at me like, we got to get rid of stuff. I'm like, we're gonna be good. I'm gonna make sure I shed the fat the right way. Like not through, but I've been to Goodwill a lot here in Green Bay, about 3 days so far, and I took half of my closet was all donated to Goodwill. So I feel really good about that. I went to a store here. I won't name the name of the store, but it's a store that takes clothes for sale, and you could go in and bring a batch of clothes. They have to be cleaned, obviously, in a container, and they'll grade it out, and then they'll tell you what they're going to pay you for it. And they literally took nothing that I brought.
Wait, they didn't take anything?
They didn't take a thing. I had Jordan hoodies, windbreakers, Nike hats, Nike hoodies, t-shirts, clean, look brand new almost. Sweatpants, jeans, like fashionable jeans. Remember True Religion jeans?
Okay, yeah.
They didn't take those. They didn't take none of that.
They give you a reason at least. What was the reason?
Their reason was it was 2 to 3 months. It was not in the range of 2 to 3 months of trending items that you find at a store. I was okay. Yes. I was like, that's
so they're only going to buy clothing items that are currently going to be trending.
100%. And I brought in 2 pairs of Jordans just to test what I would get for them. And I gave them, they're like a jump man. So they're kind of, not the retro numbers. And I gave them the shoes, 2 pairs, 4. I actually gave them 6 pair. They only took 2 pair out. And it was the ones that they look like the Air Jordan 1s, similar to them. And they only gave me $32 for 2 pair.
Oh man!
I said I'm keep selling them online. Like that's
a good business model, man. If they're getting that for $32, it must be working. That's
an easy turnaround. I said not happening again. I'm not going back there. So I tried it twice. I tried some once. You know what? I said, maybe I didn't have enough. What they were looking for. So let me try it one more time. That second time was yesterday. I said, yeah, I'm done. I'm not going back over there. I learned my lesson. That's not good business sense going to a place that's going to downgrade you because it's not trending in the last 2 to 3 months. I was like, no, I'm out. As a good friend of mine says, when something ain't going the right way or something he don't like, he's like, I'm out. I was like, I'm out. I'm out.
Absolutely. No, that reminds me though, talking about when you're moving those collectible items. I'll never forget it's what my dad will always hold over my mom. He had a book full of NFL cards. He said he had some rare ones in there, some real dimes in there, and he will not give it up to this day. He gave an estimation that at least maybe sniffing over $5,000 to $10,000 on how many cards he had, which wasn't bad.
No, that's not bad. That's great. Yeah, that's actually.
When you're a hardworking farmer and you can get an easy 10K as opposed to being out in the fields all day, you're gonna hold that over the woman. So yeah, that always happens a lot. So those collectibles, I love seeing what those items like can turn into.
Yeah,
something I'm not fully aware of, but I know the Pokemon world, like
the
collectibles in that world is insane. Like I see these cards go up. I know the big ones like Charizard. I can go
Charizard Platinum, and like Charizard Platinum that my stepson had before I knew him and knew his mom. That their dad threw his stuff away. And they had the Charizard Platinum. Well, it's like 40 grand, like $49,000 now, 50 grand.
Yeah, let me look at what's that real quick while you're talking.
Both my wife, we get married, and my stepson every now and then he brings that up. He's like, I can't believe my dad threw away my Pokemon box. I had a whole full box I had Charizard, he had Pikachu, and all the popular ones. Like I said, that was during my time, but nothing at the time I was interested in. It hit me that time. Pokemon hit between my age. I was between age 19 and 24. That was kind of the big run of it. So it was like 1999 to 2002, 2003. That's when that was the big run of it. And I knew of it, and my kid, one of my younger daughter, Monty, at that time older, she wasn't in it, but I saw the TVs, I saw the TV shows, the movies, the card trades, and I was seeing, when I would go to a football camp that I would coach or event, and I see kids and they would be talking about that. I'm like, okay. Because I remember I was in Seattle, and Seattle has a diverse culture and is a video game city. And so that is part of the video game culture is the anime, which it was in that neighborhood. Pokemon is a part of the anime ecosystem. So that's what I would see. I would go to downtown Seattle, go to a comic book store, and I would see Pokemon card decks all over the place inside the comic book store or the video game store. Going to GameStop or EB Games back in the day. Seeing those was like, I don't see the thing because it ain't my thing, but
Yeah.
it's there. I get it.
Yeah.
I get it.
Speaking of the thing, just real quick for reference for all those listening out there. And again, if you guys want to chime in the show, we got former Husker, former Green Bay Packer, Ahman Green in here with us. Again, 402-464-5685. Chime in. We'll read your texts as they come in. You can also watch us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter, and Allo channel 951. But for reference, the most expensive card that's been appraised so far is a 98 Pikachu card for $5.75 million.
Good gracious.
So that's what I'm saying. So yeah, I was in that boat where I wasn't quite sure what everyone was doing. I didn't really get it, and I missed this boat completely because I got rid of those things. I used to have a few when I was younger, but I think they're probably out of my place by the time I was 12, 13. I was kind of done with it. And I wonder if I would have held on what I might have had, because it is crazy what those markets become. I know that one's a big one. NFL cards, I feel like they're trying to make a little bit of a comeback. MLB cards kind of back up there. Do you
basketball card? NBA cards are becoming a high item.
NBA
cards, rookie cards.
Those Jordan cards are always still going to be up there. Do you collect anything right now, Ahman?
I'll say that whole move put my mindset in a place that I said, man, when I get older, I'm gonna save these things. I'm gonna save my video game cartridges or my discs, my consoles, my movies, my books or comic books. So I didn't do a whole lot of comic book collecting until I got older. But my baseball cards. So I did save my book of cards. So that was one thing that also survived the LA to Nebraska trip. And so when I still have my book. I wish I could probably go grab it on break and bring it in here. And I had, this is then, Michael Jordan, Bo Jackson, Marcus Allen.
Okay. So you got some real good pieces.
Oral Hershiser, Kirk Gibson, Wally Joyner, Walter Payton. So I got a nice little deck of stuff that I actually saved. So, but repeat the question again.
Yeah, I was wondering if you're collecting anything. I know you were mentioning
collecting things now. Yeah. I say I'm the collector of still. I like the disc when games come out on Xbox, PlayStation, or even PC. I like PC. There's no disc to that game, but it's just a download in the app. But for PlayStation and Xbox, I will get my disc. Like I got Jedi Survivor on disc. I got Hogwarts on disc. I got Horizon Dawn on disc. And because everybody's like, why don't you just download it? I'm like, no. I was like, what if, even though some of these games does require the internet, but if you go back far enough, I still have 360s in the house. I still have PS2s in the house. Some of them games don't need internet to play. So I could so if the power goes out or the internet goes out, I could play me some games.
Yeah, I'm with you there too. I don't ever buy the disc anymore, but there's a part of me that misses it. Because when you have all these downloads, you don't actually see it on the wall. There's something about seeing it there on the wall, what you all have in front of you.
I could touch it. I could grab it. I want to play that game now. I'm going to go grab that game, take it out, pop it open, take the disc out, stick it in. Boom.
Now I get into situations where I want to play this game. Man, how many gigabytes do I need to free up? Then I got to delete this one. Then I got to wait forever. And depending on what my Wi-Fi situation looks like, I might not play till tomorrow. It's infuriating.
That is the first world problems that we have as gamers right now.
That's a good way to put it.
First world problem, because I deal with the same thing. Because I every time when I update my Xbox or my PlayStation, I'm sitting down and I'm taking a leisure of the gigabytes of every game that's in the save in the storage. So I'm like, okay, Halo Infinite, that's like over 100 gigabytes. Madden. That's over 100 gigabytes. 2K.
I'm not even touching COD games because those are going to eat the whole thing.
Right. Like Call of Duty, it's like, oh my God. It's like I love you and hate you at the same time. I love the game. It's fun. Multiplayer Warzone, but then the storage is a nightmare. It's like almost 200 gigabytes just for COD because all the updates. Fortnite 2 is another one. I don't update my Fortnite on my consoles. I only update it on the PC because that's why I'm gonna put Fortnite, Valorant, and League of Legends on my PC. Everything else, Madden, 2K, Halo Infinite, and then RPGs, Jedi Survivor, Ragnarok, Hogwarts, all that's gonna go on a console. So I can at least, mandate my storage areas because it's just you have so little left for space.
That's truly a first world problem, man. Because you can imagine working with Adobe products. That takes a lot of storage. You start piling up those videos, all those photos, all the Photoshop, and then if you're not cleaning those on the regular, good luck. You're gonna have to buy a whole new server just to store everything. It gets pretty insane pretty quick. With that being said, though, we better go ahead and throw it to our first break. Again, this is the Ahman Green Show. I'm Harrison Lawrence, pushing the ones and twos. We got Ahman, the host, here as always. And if you guys want to join the show, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. With that being said, we'll throw it to break and see you guys on the other side.
Beat the heat and make 4th of July truly
Jake
monumental
here
at
from Early Break. The garage door at our house has been needing replacement for a couple years, and a few months ago, we finally did something about it. Steve's Garage Doors and Services was great through the whole process in providing options and also going to the next level to get a door that was approved by our HOA. And best of all, the removal of the old door and installation of the new door was done smoothly with no issues. Call Steve's Garage Doors and Services today at 402-480-9462.
Very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
Grandma and Grandpa, Mom and Dad, then the kids, and now the grandkids. Judson Irrigation has provided lawn sprinkler system design, installation, repair, and service to 4 generations. They're just like members of the family. Loyalty, trust, service. It's what you deserve and expect from Judson Irrigation.
Keep summer green. Call Judson Irrigation 402-420-6277 or judsonirrigation.com.
Allo is here to give you the FYI. Are your shows buffering? We know why. Are your games lagging? Don't deny. Your work calls dropping? Here's the FYI. Your old school internet company can't keep up. They give it a try. Their network isn't enough. Don't get trapped in their gimmicks and lies. It's time to fiber your internet with Allo. Honest, local, and hassle-free is what we stand by. Experience Allo Internet. Visit allofiber.com/FYI.
Hi, Sean Callahan here for Coppell Chevrolet GMC, and our big summer sales event is underway this month. Right now, get 0.9% interest rates. Yes, you heard right. 0.9% APR on select new Chevrolet and GMC vehicles, plus a $1,500 trade-in bonus on select Silverados and Sierras. You put all that together with some big Coppell discounts, and you have a tremendous buying experience. So stop on into the dealership or check us out online at CoppellCars.com. You'll be glad you did. All deals with approved credit.
Guys, it's that time again. Another 10-week challenge at Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping is starting on July 8th. I joined Farrell's a little over a year ago, and with their help, I've lost over 125 pounds and can confidently say I'm in the best shape of my life. The 10-week challenge combines kickboxing, strength training, and nutrition coaching in a way that is approachable and achievable for any skill level. And ticket listeners, you can get $150 off the cost of enrollment. Head to theticketfm.com and click on the banner on the homepage to learn more. Farrell's Extreme Body Shaping at 70th and Vine or 40th and Yankee Hill.
Ready to spend more time on the links? Better sell that business first. Trans World Business Advisors of Lincoln has over 450,000 active buyers in our database. We can confidentially find that perfect person. 402-413-1095.
The Ticket Water Cooler.
Typically, you kind of think of Nebraska as far as in-state recruiting as might not get the skill position players, but you can pepper in some offensive linemen and maybe a linebacker here and there. This class is led by it's in-state skill position players now. I mean, you're thinking down the line, you could 3 or 4 years from now have Daniel Kalen lining up with Davon Holland, Isaiah McMorris, and now Carter Nelson. Those are all your skill positions.
Keeping the highly talented, highly ranked players that are in the state with you at the home state school is a step in the right direction.
This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Ahman Green Show. I'm Harrison Arns, pushing the ones and twos. We got Ahman here, as always, the host, going all the way up until 7 o'clock. We're talking video games on that first segment, collectible items in the crazy market that has been. And again, if you guys want to join the show, 402-464-5685. We got a few comments over the break, and then I kind of want to get to you on some of these. First question, Ahman Green, how is your NCAA 14 game?
Right now, my Madden game's on point, so my NCAA 14 game will be on point. I just don't have a team. I know you could create a team, and I remember I got a buddy of mine, Eric, Problem Right. He's a Madden pro and champion. I think 4-time champion. And he has created University of Hawaii State team, and I watch him play on his stream sometime. And so I didn't get deep into because that's like franchise mode for me, and I live that life, so I don't want to mess around in the gaming world on something I actually did. Like, it's like if I was a lawyer, I'm not gonna play a game that has to do with law. I want to get
play Lawyer Simulator.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not gonna play Lawyer Simulator, which will probably come out soon because we have Power Wash Simulator, we got Fireman Simulator, we have Train Simulator, we have Bus Simulator, we have Flight Simulator. Okay, so I would say my game's on point. That I can't wait till 2024 drops next year. It was supposed to be this year, but they moved it back, obviously for whatever, probably production reasons and everything. Which is a smart move because we remember Cyberpunk 2077. The
No Man's Sky is another one that really disappointed a lot of people.
They're still updating Cyberpunk. I have the disc, like I talked about, so I'm gonna download it or put it back on my Xbox to see what happens and see what it does because it says some new DLC since the after they've been correcting and getting all the bugs out of there. So
speaking on that subject, you brought up a good point. Was there any game that you were most excited for, like a Cyberpunk, that when it came out it flopped and just put a horrible taste in your mouth? You got any other big ones that were really just disappointing, didn't hit the mark on what they promised?
Oh, that's a good one. I'd say it's definitely Cyberpunk, and it's just hard for me to have a bad taste in my mouth about playing video games because I just love playing video games.
Yeah, it's a fair point.
And it only became a sour taste and a bad taste in the back of my mouth was because some of the missions that you did, you'll go on like you'll go rob somebody or an assassination job, and I would go do a heist. I was doing a heist, and I finished the heist, went back to go get my money, and it had a waypoint in the middle of the street. So I went to that waypoint, got right to the middle of the street, and I figured maybe it's underground because Cyberpunk was a big elaborate city. You could go underground in tunnels or the sewer, and I'm like, let me go down there. There was no way to find. I did go downstairs, but I couldn't go where the waypoint was at. So I figured it was a glitch, and it definitely was because every time I restart the mission, I beat it again, and I go back to the same problem. So that's what's created that disdain for Cyberpunk. But I still got love for it because I was at E3 in 2019 when they made the big announcement with Keanu Reeves. I didn't see him come on the stage, but I heard about it. I could hear the crowd going crazy because they had it in one part of the convention where you had to have like special access, and I didn't have the special access. But that's okay.
I was gonna like with the special access.
I don't know. They didn't know I was in the building. I like to go to when I go to the cons, when I go to Comic-Con, when I go to E3, when I go to DreamHack, I kind of go incognito. I kind of just go just like any other fan because that's what I am. I look at myself as that. But every now and then I'm walking up on somebody, like say if we're passing, they see me, and then we say hi. If I lock eyes with you, I'm gonna say hello, how you and keep it, and keep walking. I'm gonna at least say hi. Say, hey man, how you doing?
Be cordial, right?
Be cordial. And so when I do that, people are like, wait a minute, was that a Ahman Green? Or didn't he play football? He looked like he played for the Packers. He's like that one dude, you know. So I get those looks every now and then because, like I said, I'm a fan just like everybody else when I go to these cons and have a good time. So.
Yeah. What was the first con you went to? I have never actually been to one, but I hear they're a great time. I have some friends that have gone, and I'm curious, what was that first experience like?
The first experience was 2009, and so I had just got released by the Texans, and so I was, a free agent. So I was like, and I wasn't disappointed. I was like, oh, I'm a free agent. That means no training camp. I was like, yeah. And then I looked at the calendar, and it was like mid-June, and I'm like, I got a month to plan out Comic-Con in San Diego Comic-Con, which is one of the biggest Comic-Con conventions or comic book conventions in the United States, one of the big. And so I called a friend of mine, and just so happened one of my best friends, he's still in Florida. He lives in Orlando. He was living in Miami at that time, I think, but he moved to Orlando, moved his family to Orlando. And he said, Ahman, guess what? I'm like, what? He said, I got, we're working on some, a mobile tech company at the time. And he said some of the potential investors are going to Comic-Con and they invite us out to Comic-Con. I said, shut your mouth. I said, did you say Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con? He's like, yes. I'm like, dude, I was just planning it in my head, and you just called me out of the blue and say this. And he said, yeah, they're going to pay for it. They're going to fly us out. They're going to set us up and everything in one of the hotels right next to the convention. I'm like, you had me at hello. And so we go out there, man. Oh, my God. And so this being my first one, I went all out. So I planned out all my outfits. I did cosplay my first time out. So every day I was Batman. Batman's my guy. So
okay.
Yeah. So I wore this Batman. I wore his t-shirt or something Batman every day. And then on Saturday is masquerade night at San Diego Comic-Con. So that's the big costume party. But you could dress every day. Like you could literally wear an outfit every day if you want. But the masquerade party is the big party it starts around 8:00, goes to midnight.
And they usually give some awards, right, for best costumes, something like that.
Exactly. Yeah, I didn't have the best, but I did a solid B. I give it a B average on my costume. I was Batman. I was Michael Keaton Batman. That was the Batman that got me sucked in to DC Universe. And I got a couple pictures with people. People are like, oh, that's pretty good. Can I take a picture? I'm like, bet. What's up? I did a little pose.
Little they know they're probably getting two birds with one stone there.
And then, right. So doing all that. Then the next day, I'm shopping. I'm buying Funko Pops I'm calling my wife. Hey, babe, they got this. Oh my God, they got that. What the kids want? My kids were into Pokemon and anime stuff. So I'm like, text me whatever the kids want. And I'll try to get one item per, right? And we got 5 kids, 4 girls and a boy. So I'm like trying to get the list of kids, things for the kids. And then my friend Mustafa, he says, guess what? I'm like, uh-oh, what you about to do? What we about to do now? I'm like, bet. He said, we got backstage pass. We got tickets to go see the panel for, at the time, 2009, it was True Blood. That was on HBO Max or HBO, the vampire series. I was like, I'm a fan. And then he said we could see Heroes too. They're right after them. I'm like, oh. So remember the TV series Heroes? I think it was on ABC or NBC.
Yeah, I think it's ABC.
With Siler, he was the villain, and it had the one guy. Everybody had they had Hayden Panettiere. She was a cheerleader that was like super. She had super strength, and so we went to see those 2 panels of the actors and the directors and the writers and the producer. And so I was so excited. Like I wanted to ask questions, but I totally fanboyed out. I just sat there and I want to ask a question, but I'm not going to because I'm probably going to sound dumb. So I sat there and watched, what was her name? It was Sookie, the actress who played Sookie on True Blood. And then the lead vampire that she fell in love with him. They talk about the show and their experiences. Then we went to the Heroes panel, and that was that was so dope. Just be a part of it. And that's when I learned San Diego Comic-Con just wasn't comic books. I had seen it. I've seen movies, documentaries on the Xbox Game Pass. If you had Game Pass at that time, they would go to the cons. They would go to DreamHack. They would go to PAX. They would go to San Diego Comic-Con. And so I always watched it from a video edited standpoint, so I never really saw it. And then I see it in person. I'm like, this is not just comic books. I'm thinking Marvel, DC, Dark Horse, all the indie comics, which they were all there. But then Microsoft, Xbox was there, and then Paramount, Universal, and all the movie companies, Viacom, these big companies that make the movies, that produce them, that market them, and then some of the actors were there. Because I remember seeing, from the TV show standpoint, we saw True Blood and Heroes. From the movie standpoint, that's when the first Zombieland came out with Woody Harrelson.
Okay, yeah.
And the two actors too. They were young then. The guy that played in the Social Network movie, Zuckerberg, he played Zuckerberg, and then the girl Amy, I think her name was Amy. First name was Amy. She was in Zombieland, but then she was in the Scarlet Letter or Easy A movie.
Yeah, but the red hair. I know. I got the actual faces.
Yeah.
I can't see the name. They've been in plenty of films though.
Yeah, hold on. Let me type in. But yeah, so we went to that movie premiere, and that was dope because they came out on stage. I'm like, Woody Harrelson. First thing pop in my head is White Man Can't Jump. I'm like, oh, dope. I was like, that was a dope. What's up, man? And we actually met him. We went backstage, shook hands, took pictures. I was just like, this is so dope right here. I was like,
that's incredible. God. Yeah, that's a great movie too. That's a good throwback. White Man Can't Jump. I remember watching that for the first time with my dad. That is one of the best movies out there. Just old school basketball movies. It's hilarious too. It's got so many funny scenes in that entire movie.
Hilarious.
One to check out. If you're my age, imagine if you're in 20s, you probably haven't gone back and watched it. But if you ask your dad or your parents, they probably know what it is. Yeah. It still stands the test of time. It's a great film. Definitely worth it. And for all those that are curious about those going to Comic-Con events, there's so many of them now. I know one of the companies, Rooster
Emma
Teeth,
Stone is her name. Emma Stone. I looked it up.
Emma Stone. Thank you. Emma Stone. Yep. That's the one. And she's in what's it called? Perfect A? Great.
Easy A. It's called Easy A.
Easy A.
It's kind of like the Scarlet Letter, but more of a teenage setting, not all serial biblical times where people are dying and all that. We read that book when I was in 11th grade at Omaha Central. I had Mr. Eck, and I got I think my first grade on my summary of the reading was a B+, and then I had another one later. I got an A. He was a tough. Okay. He wasn't an easy A. I'll say that he was not an easy A.
Ahman, as I'm just getting to know you more, I am kind of curious, just in general, how you got into the gaming world. You might have talked about it with Austin, but was this always kind of with you growing up when you were young? Was this something that your friends got into, or where did this start for you?
Okay, so you basically asking what I do on my podcast, my other podcast, Ahman Green's Gamers Lounge. This is your gamer origin story. So just like comic books, just like an RPG, there's a story behind everything. So my gamer origin story started at 5. I was 5 years old. My dad actually introduced me to PC gaming first. So it was Carmen Sandiego and Oregon Trail. And so he was an IT guy. He worked at a company that's a very big company on the West Coast, Northrop Aviation. And he was one of their IT guys in the department, worked on things, fixed them. Sometimes he would bring things home. He brings home an Apple II PC. This is 1984. It's the biggest this table that I'm sitting at, right? It's huge. It's like the half of the kitchen table is gone. I'm like, damn, what is that? He's like, it's an Apple computer. I was like, oh.
What could y'all do on that at that point in time?
At that time, basic stuff like you could send emails at that time.
Okay.
And then you could play games and then run the program, mostly just data entry programming, just your name, first name, last name, your address, just more data stuff, simple data stuff back then. And then some computer games. So he fixed it and he said, all right, I'm going to show you how to turn a computer on. And then I'm going to show you how to get to the games and play, and then click on the games and play the games. And I want you to play a few games. And I'm like, all right. And so he did. He showed me how to turn it on, press this button, let it boot up for 5 minutes. and then you get into the game. You show me, okay, here's Carmen Sandiego. Just double clicked it with the mouse, and then it'll let it load up for another 2 minutes. And then boom, play a game. And so I played like an hour or like half hour of Carmen. And I game out of that game. And then I clicked into Oregon Trail, played that one for about an hour or a half hour. And he's like, how does it work?
To you.
Yeah. And so I was like, he said, how did it stay on? Did it glitch, doing anything crazy? I'm like, no, I played the games and everything like that. So it was good. So that's when I was like, it was starting to get hooked to this technology thing. And then I think right after that, it was like back to back. It was like, oh, he comes home with a ColecoVision. And I'm like, what's this? We start playing Donkey Kong. And then we had Zaxxon. That was the only 2 games we had. And so I would sit there literally every day and night playing Donkey Kong and Zaxxon. Donkey Kong and Zaxxon. And I got so good at Zaxxon where I could beat the game in like 30 minutes. So I'll beat the game, go to the bathroom, get dinner or do something, come back to the room, and then beat it again. That's how good I got at the game. And
Games were hard back then too, so that's a testament. Games
they were hard too, but they were short. You know, they were over. You could beat a game if you put in 2 hours. You beat the game. You put in a 3 hour, 3 hours, game over. Now it's like it's a lifetime. I'm like, oh my goodness, I got 80 hours. No, I was telling this to Rico on my podcast the other day. I got over 100 hours in Assassin's Creed Odyssey, and still is not even knocking on the door of the end of the game. You know, it's like
those Assassin's Creed games are notorious for that too.
I will awesome too, but it's like, come on.
I've played a few of them where it just seems they really try to fill up the map, and you're just doing like all sorts of random quests from south end of the map all the way up to the north end of the map and you're just dropping off, kind of repetitive things. That's kind of the only beef I got with some of those open world games. It's like repeat loop kind of quest. It kind of loses that originality after a while, and then it starts to feel. I don't want to say a chore because you're playing a video game at the end of the day, right? You can turn it off and do a real chore and see how that feels. But nonetheless, you kind of get that feeling like, man, the game's starting to lose its glimmer. Do you see any of that in open world games?
A little bit. I mean, because of like I said, with that one, Assassin's Creed Odyssey. But I'm so excited about the ones I haven't played yet because I heard a lot of good stuff about Hogwarts. Had a lot of good stuff about finishing up Ragnarok. But some of the games can get long. And I've between my podcast and them studying and researching articles about companies when they're making the RPG, they just want to keep the consumer, us, on that game longer. But it's like, I think they could lose us by extending the game, by doing, like you said, all these side quests. There's the main campaign, and then it's like 5 or 6 side quests you could do sometime in most games. That's right now it's Jedi Survivor. I'm playing it on Xbox. You have the main campaign, but then it's 3 side quests that I could do along with the main campaign. But you obviously that's time. It's like, hey man, I want to get in, get out. I want to get through the main campaign fast and then get to the side quest. But like Assassin's Creed, they learn how to make the side quests a part of the main thing because if you don't do some of the side quests, you don't get certain weapons or you don't get certain powers or utilities. It's like, man, y'all giving us the banana in the tailpipe right now, man. You're killing me right now. But back in the day, like I said, we went from Donkey Kong and then ColecoVision. And when the Nintendo came out, I was hooked. I was like, I'm a gamer for life, along with being an athlete, student, a kid at that time, and then growing up teenager, and then eventually a dad. I'm like, I'm still gonna game. Like people were like, I remember when I got to Green Bay, and I'm like, AJ, be like, AG, man, what you do on the weekend, man? Like here, I'm like, because it's Green Bay is boring, ain't nothing to do, which at that time was very true. I said, look, I was like, look, I'm a simple dude. I need a movie theater, which Green Bay has 2 of them, a grocery store, so I know where to get my food. And I'm gonna play my video games. So I know where the Best Buy is at, and I know where the GameStop's at. GameStop's at the mall, and then Best Buy's right across the street. So I go to Best Buy, I get my movies, I get my video games, I go to the grocery store, and I'm back home. They be like, man, you don't want to go golfing? I'm like, golf? What? Like, I get the golf. I see why people love golf. If you fall in love early, kind of like with Pokemon, with the great famous golfers out there back in the day, for me and for you with Tiger Woods and I say Rory McIlroy and all those guys coming up. It just never, that was just the one and only sport. Like I'm a sports fan. I watch cricket. I watch all the traditional stuff: football, baseball, basketball, hockey, the Olympics. I'm watching out 2:30 in the morning. I'll wake up and just whatever's on ESPN, I'm watching it. Golf though, I can't. I mean, I could watch it, but like actually saying, "Hey, man, let's go hit 18 right now." Like, nah, I'm good. I'm out. You can have that. Unless when I'm with a group of friends, me, Strick,
Jay Foreman, I think.
Jay Foreman and Jake, we all went golfing for the one charity event a few weeks ago. That's like stuff like that. I'm okay with. But
yeah,
like, I just can't go by. Like, I'll go like after this stream, I'm gonna take a little break and then jump on my Xbox that's sitting right here to play some Halo or play some Madden or some 2K. I will do that, but I'm not gonna go down the street, which I can. Right down the street, we have a golf range. I've been living in this neighborhood for over 15 years. You know how many times I've been there in 15 years, Harrison?
I'm gonna guess once. Has it even been once?
Twice.
Twice? Okay.
Twice.
At least you got out there.
To the golf range that is like cheap. It's like $10 for 100 balls. I'm like, that's a hell of a deal. But I'm like, that's just not me. That's just not me. But if it's for Boys and Girls Club, it's for children's health, pediatric cancer, I'm gonna go do it. I'm gonna play golf for that cause. But for me having fun, hey, you better gear up the Halo or the Call of Duty, get it right, or the Valorant.
Hey man, if you're really counting your money too, in the long run, you'll save money by putting the golf course so much. So hey, save some money there. But with that being said, good spot to throw it to break here. This is the Ahman Green Show. I am Harrison Arns pushing the ones and twos. We got the host Ahman here as always. And again, if you guys want to join the show, 402-464-5685, streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Twitter. We'll throw it to break and catch you guys on the other side.
Save money on energy-efficient equipment with the LES Sustainable Energy Program. Nearly half of the financial incentives are still available for qualifying projects. View incentives and learn more at les.com/SEP.
Summertime is in full swing, and it's time to get to work on outdoor projects. Deck City is a great place to start as Lincoln's local source for everything decks. Deck City has everything you need to build the deck of your dreams. From treated lumber to Westbury aluminum railings and TimberTech composite decking. They offer advice from real deck professionals to give you proper guidance to make your project go smoothly. Call them today to schedule an appointment at 402-480-6671. Go online at deckcityne.com or visit their new location just north of 33rd and Cornhusker Highway. Deck City, your local deck experts.
Hi everyone, Kendall Warnock with A1 Automotive in downtown Lincoln. If you're looking for an automotive repair facility you can genuinely trust, we would be grateful for the opportunity to earn your business repairing your vehicle. We have ASE master technicians and qualified to work on a variety of vehicles from Hondas to Porsches, Jaguars to Toyotas, and Chevrolets to Fords. We pride ourselves on customer service and relationships, and we would be grateful for the opportunity to serve you. Give us a call at 402-477-4660. A1 Automotive, always honest answers.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Brought to you by Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Scattered thunderstorms will be a possibility this morning, and a few of those storms could become severe. We'll reach up to a high this afternoon around 92, northeast winds at 10 to 15. Scattered thunderstorms, again, a possibility overnight with a low down to around 67. Still fairly warm tomorrow, and that continued chance of showers and storms with a high of 87. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You don't think about your roof very often, but you should never take it for granted. Roofing Service Company takes every measure to provide you with the highest quality roofing solution. Whether it's a new roof installation, roof repair, or a re-roofing project, their overall goal is to provide you with a pleasant experience and a long-lasting roof. If you have a need for siding or gutters, they're your place too. Visit roofingservicecompany.com for more info today.
As an 18-year-old, I let my mistakes kind of take over my life. I was 0.5 credits away from completing high school, and I didn't do it.
10 years later, at age 28, Jackie finished her high school diploma.
When I found out that I was pregnant, I know that I had to do something for myself if I wanted to make her a better person and provide a better life for her. My family never stopped pushing for me to be better because they knew what I could become and who I could become as a person. My support team is amazing. The educational director, my sister, and even my 7-year-old daughter has just been more than the support that I could ask for. I've been given an opportunity, and I'm just thankful for it.
No one gets a diploma alone. If you're thinking of finishing your high school diploma, you have help. Find free adult education classes near you at finishyourdiploma.org. That's finishyourdiploma.org. Brought to you by the Dollar General Literacy Foundation and the Ad Council.
Ironhide Construction is hiring. They're looking for hardworking, self-motivated individuals who are team players. Ironhide Construction has openings for an experienced project manager, estimator, apprentice, skilled laborer, and erector or installer. They will train the right people and make sure you understand the position and requirements. At Ironhide Construction, it's own it, be honest, and do it right. Apply today and learn more about their other benefits at ironhideconstruction.com, where they're committed to you every step of the way.
If you can plan barbecues and weddings, you can plan to protect yourself from a natural disaster. Sign up for local alerts, prepare an emergency kit, and make a family communications plan. Get started at ready.gov/plan.
Brought to you by FEMA and the Ad Council.
This is the Ahman Green Show on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back into the Ahman Green Show. I am Harrison Arns, pushing the ones and twos. We have the host Ahman here as always. And again, if you guys want to chime in on the show, 402-464-5685. And we're streaming on Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, and Allo, channel 951. You guys have been great so far. Appreciate all the comments. We do have one from Mississippi Mundog I want to get into, as this will be a short segment. This one just made me laugh a little bit because if you've watched the run, the last part of the question makes sense. It says, Ahman, do you remember the 98-yard touchdown run against Denver in 2003?
Yeah.
Was that the most tired you ever were after a run?
No, I was not tired after that run. I was actually energized. I was like, put me back in, coach. I know we're going on defense, but let's get it. I was so hyped because it was something, nice little story behind that run. And so it goes back all the way into before I got drafted. I was right after we beat Tennessee in the Orange Bowl in Miami, 1998, January. The next day we fly back to Lincoln. Then like a week after that, I fly out to California. I declared as a junior to go pro. I go out to Newport Beach, California. I hook up with a couple guys. One named Chuck Williams. Shout out to Chuck Williams. He was my strength coach for that month and a half or 2 months I was trained out there. And then my speed training coach, shout out to Frank Baskerville. And Frank, his experience was he was an Olympic track coach for the Olympic team. He trained guys like Ronaldo Nehemiah, Marion Jones, and Maurice. Was it Maurice? It was another one. God, I can't think of his last name, Maurice something. But just say he coached a lot of fast people. Let's just say
he's got a resume. He's got some proof.
He has some proof. And so he knew my background. Like he knew right away that I was a high school state champion in the 100 and the 200. And he said, and he knew what I ran in the 40. He seen my games of how many long runs I had. And he said, you have it in you to have a 99-yard run during your career or have a 100-yard run. He said, nobody's going to catch you. He said, I know this because of what I could teach you and what you already have in you, the motor you have, the power, the strength that you've been blessed with through your parents. You have that. Now I'm going to coach it out of you. And so, once he said that, I was already like, I'm there already physically. And then presently, when he said that, I'm like, let's go, Mr. Miyagi. Tell me, wax on, wax off. I'm doing it. Whatever you tell me to do, I'm going to do it. Like, right out, whatever comes out your mouth, I'm going to copy it exactly. And I was able to do that. And he's the one later, he said, I was the only player or athlete that he coached that actually did everything exactly as he told that athlete. And I came out, California, flew back for my pro day. So my pro day, and actually the combine, I strained my groin like a week before, so I can only but which was a still okay 40. I ran 4.49. So, but I know I was like, I know I could go faster. I ran 4.2s, 4.3s before in Lincoln. And so go back to Cali, rehab, get the groin right, come back to Lincoln, run my pro day. I go 4.17 and 4.18. And then, as we know, still got drafted third round. That's a whole nother story I could tell one day on here. So, but fast forward for the story I'm telling you about the 98-yard run. So from that conversation, we literally, all we did, we talked for more than we talked more than we actually ran. Like he talked me through coming out my 40 stance, coming out, making sure my arm was here, my knee height was here, and my forward lean was there, and how I use my core to press forward and push off. Push, pull. That's what he would say. Push, pull was me pushing off the ground and my hamstrings and all that in coordination. It was just this jibber jabbers that he would say to me every day, but I got it and it made sense to me. And so fast forward to 2003, December, 7, 8 o'clock at night, we're in our end zone and Brett calls the play H2 Bob. That's the play. And that's the formation. That's the green right, H2 Bob. And so it's a misdirection play. So basically it's a play that's designed where my footwork I start to the left. I take an open step to the left side, but I'm coming back with my next step. I'm coming back to the right side. So I'm going to make the linebackers think I'm going left ISO, but then with my next step, I'm coming back to the right side of the offensive line. And so I did that open step to the left where it looks like I'm coming to the left side. Then I make that right next step, pivot step, or not pivot step, but just another open step to the right. And I'm coming downhill. It's a double team between the guard and the tackle. And then we have a package. So this was green right. This was package personnel, U71. U71 was a guy, good friend of mine, Kevin Berry, teammate, who was the extra tackle that was brought in eligible as a tight end. So it's package U71, green right, H2 Bob. He's in there. So we got the guard and the tackle, double team down. Mm-hmm. And then Kevin Berry, if you look him up, he's still with us today. Love him to death. He is 6'7". At that time, probably like 350. He could take a human being and forklift them 5 yards off the line of scrimmage. And he pretty much did that. If you remember Wildcats with Wesley Snipes and Woody Harrelson, you remember Finch, the big tackle that was like gambling on the field, like, hey, you pay me this and I'll do that. And I didn't have to do that with KB. KB was my guy. He did his job. So he pancaked like two of the Broncos guys. So he takes two guys out by himself. The double team takes another 2-3 guys out. And then with my footwork, the linebackers are way out of the play. So only thing that touched me was Brett handing me the football. Once I got the football, I basically outran the strong safety down the right sideline into the south end zone of Lambeau that night. And the first thing, like past the 50, I hear Frank push, pull. They're not going to catch you. Don't look back. Push, pull. You're going to run that. You're going to have that 98-yard run or 99-yard run, whatever. I just go back to that conversation in my head. Then of course, I come back to me running, like, don't look behind, never look back when you're running. Always just look at what's in front of you. And I did that always. And then when I got to the end zone, I was just like so pumped up. I'm like, I'm ready. I'm not even tired. Let's go. I Lambeau leaped, came to the sidelines, and I was like, everybody's high-fiving. Hey, and I'm like, in my head, I'm like, give me the ball again. I'm not even tired. I'm like, let's go. So that was that whole fun little segment of my life where it's like, he called it. Frank called it 4 or 5 years ago that I was going to have this run and I was going to be something out there, as he said, special out there running the ball. So
absolutely. Yeah. And it's an incredible run. And like you said, that strong safety, his pursuit angle wasn't quite there.
Way off.
Didn't quite have the angle on there. A great show. Appreciate you, Ahman, for streaming in. Had a great time. And again, thank you to our listeners for chiming in. Up next, though, we do got the Junior Achievements Hour. They'll take us all the way up until 8 o'clock. Then I'll go from 8 to 9. Appreciate you guys listening and enjoy the rest of your Thursday night.